Okay, so when you take a plant cutting, like maybe some mints or something from the garden,
Yeah, happens all the time.
and everyone tells you, snip it below a node and definitely pull off those bottom leaves.
Right, standard advice.
Well, today on the deep dive, we're not just going to nod along. We want to get why that's the advice.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually came up because of some cool listener notes. Notes on Gardening, part 538, specifically about mint cuttings.
Yeah, and what was really interesting is the listener sent in their own observation that got us thinking.
Oh, what was it?
They noticed the mint cuttings, right, after they'd rooted and started getting a bit of fertilizer.
Okay.
The lower leaves were turning yellow, but the new growth, the stuff up top, looked perfectly healthy.
Huh.
Interesting. So yeah, our mission today is kind of twofold. Figure out the main reason we stripped those bottom leaves and understand that yellowing thing the listener saw.
Got it. Okay, let's tackle that yellowing first then. The notes mentioned something called nutrient remobilization. What's that about?
Yeah, nutrient remobilization. Think of it as the plant's like survival mode, especially during stress, like being a cutting with no roots.
Okay, stress mode.
Exactly. The plant can actually shunt its mobile nutrients. Nitrogen is a big one, away from older tissues like those bottom leaves,
Right.
and send them up to the new, actively growing parts, the parts that really need the boost.
So the yellowing is like a sign the leaf is giving up its nutrients.
Pretty much, yeah. It's often a visual sign that nitrogen, for example, is being packed up and shipped off to the top growth. The cutting has, very limited resources at first. So this internal recycling is really quite critical. And for you listening, it means a little yellowing on those bottom leaves of a cutting that's starting to root isn't necessarily panic stations.
Okay, so the plant's being smart, rationing things, prioritizing the new bits.
How's that?
Pretty clever.
But you mentioned this isn't the main reason we gardeners are ripping those leaves off.
No, not the
Okay.
primary one. That yellowing happens, it's a biological process, but the main reason we intervene is different. So what is the top reason then?
Water loss. Simple as that, really. Reducing water loss.
How so?
Well, leaves have tiny pores, right? Stomata. That's
Yeah.
where water evaporates from transpiration.
Right, transpiration.
A fresh cutting, it has no roots. It can't suck up new water yet, so it's super vulnerable to just drying out.
Makes sense.
By removing those bottom leaves, you're basically just reducing the total surface area that's losing water. Less leaf surface means less evaporation.
Ah, okay. Like having fewer windows open on a hot day,
Mm-hmm.
less moisture escaping?
Exactly that kind of idea. It gives the cutting a much better chance of staying hydrated while it works on growing roots. It's critical.
That makes a lot of sense. Dehydration is the enemy for a new cutting.
Totally.
And wasn't there another reason mentioned? Something about energy.
Yeah, that's the second key point, conserving energy.
How does removing leaves save energy? Don't leaves make energy through photosynthesis?
They do, but those older lower leaves, they might be less efficient, less photosynthetically active than the newer growth up top. So the cutting has a finite amount of stored energy. By taking off those potentially less productive lower leaves, it can focus all that limited energy
On making roots.
exactly on the most vital task, which is developing new roots from the stem tissue. It's about channeling resources effectively. Why power old leaves when you need a whole new foundation?
Right. Building the root system is priority number one.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's bring it back to listeners' mint cuttings. The yellowing they saw was probably that nutrient remobilization happening.
Likely as it established roots and could start processing the fertilizer.
But the reason we remove leaves when we first take the cutting is mainly about stopping it from drying out
Yet, reducing transpiration.
and helping it focus its energy budget on growing those essential roots.
You've got it. The nutrient shift is like a fascinating biological subplot. But the practical gardening step, removing leaves, that's all about water management and energy focus for survival.
So the takeaway is clear. When you're propagating, snip off those bottom leaves. It helps prevent dehydration and funnels energy right where it needs to go, the roots.
Precisely. Gives your cutting the best possible start.
And that yellowing, if you see it later on, those lower leaves as it roots, don't freak out immediately. It's just the plant being resourceful.
Shows how incredibly adaptive plants are, moving things around internally.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How living things allocate resources in tough spots.
Yeah.
Maybe you could even think about how these plant survival tricks might relate to resource management and other organisms, even us.
That's a great thought. How resources are prioritized under pressure.
Definitely something to chew on while you watch your own cuttings taking root.